Morgan Gibbs-White to Tottenham, which at the moment, it's a pretty crazy story. It's a story which is pretty unprecedented. Tottenham activating a release clause last week. We got the here we go from Fabrizio Romano. Apparently all set for a medical. Nottingham Forest now setting up issuing a legal challenge against Tottenham. Taking them to court over an illegal approach for Morgan Gibbs-White and breaching confidentiality. Marinakis embroidered in yet another legal battle. We'll start with Ben. What is going on with this Morgan Gibbs-White deal?
Mate, it's absolutely insane. Marinakis is just literally digging his heels into the ground, trying to chain this player to Nottingham Forest. He literally added a release clause in the contract. He was happy to have the release clause, but he didn't want anyone to know about it. But he's been caught out. That's what's happened. He's been caught out with this release clause. Spurs have activated it to the penny. I thought Levy could have offered a bit more just to like hide himself a little bit. But look, they're trying to do us for tapping up. But in this day and age, what club doesn't speak to the player before they speak to the club? It happens in every single transfer.
Mate, you can't start turning around and saying the rules don't apply because it's Tottenham Hotspur.
It's not Tottenham.
Sorry, but tapping up.
Happens
tapping up. But you've been caught. It happens in every transfer, but you're the ones that have been caught, and you're the ones who are going to court.
How many times have you heard about, he's agreed personal terms and then they need to decide a fee and they need to talk to the clubs? Happens pretty much in every transfer now.
Of course, yeah, it happens it does happen in every transfer, but I don't know how far I'm going to take this. You know, there's a lot of things that happen in the world, but it only applies to you if you get caught, and you've been caught. Marinakis has caught you with your pants down, Morgan Gibbs-White on his knees in the corner somewhere, trying to sign a contract, and you've been caught at it. You know what I mean?
It's got nothing to do with being caught. It's out in the open that it happens every single transfer. It's not even a hidden thing.
And the thing is, I don't know what's going on. It will get done as well.
It will get done.
It will get done. I don't know what all the fuss is about. It's just delaying tactics and all that. Like it's ridiculous, really. Like, you know, listen, Spurs being Spurs, they shouldn't have probably. You know, I think that the thing that is that it was confidentiality, wasn't it? Like that's something that you know, Levy does his own thing. But at the end of it, you listen. You know, criticise Levy or not, he gets things done either way. You know what I mean? One way or the other. And I think at the end of the day, you know, Gibbs-White will be an Arsenal player, will be a Tottenham player.
You wish Freudian slip there.
Might be an Arsenal player. You never know.
No. Listen, I think he's a very, very good player. I do. He's not the sort of player that we're looking at, but that doesn't mean to say he's not a good player. It's all different things. I think he'd be a very, very good fit for Spurs. And listen, you know, when you lose 22 league games in a season, you need to get in some top players. You can get a manager in, but there's still telltale signs that things are not right. And I think he's not only is he a good player, I think that there's a few players at Spurs that perhaps are not quite a little bit, you know, suspects on injuries and all that. He seems to be one of these players that plays and play. I think that 60 million, you know what I mean, like is a good deal. If Spurs have to pay 65, so be it. I think they go that way as well.
Yeah, you say 22 losses, but one call from the European champions and he was ready to go. You know what I mean? So
that's true. Like he's leaving one European mighty club, and to go to another. Like, you know what I mean?
I can't believe I'm saying this, but it does feel like maybe there's a lot of cap coming from Marinakis right now. I do feel like it's like a delay tactic, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Spurs can trigger the release clause at any point. They've gone to Forest to try and get permission to do that. And this is like a story where you can't really prove who's lying or who isn't. So it's like,
I think you'll always get that from him, though. As I said this before, he's that type of character.
100%.
He's that type of character. You know what I mean? You see him at the end of last season. He's fiery. It's probably like an ego thing. You know what I mean? Like he don't want to let these players. He's just let Alanga go. Yeah. He's thinking nobody knows about this Gibbs-White thing. Nobody's going to come in. If that isn't a broadcast figure, and I think this is where the court case comes in, right? So if there's that isn't, nobody knows it's there. He's going, we'll get away with him for another year because people are going to think he's an £100 million player, and in reality, he's got a £60 million release clause in it.
Yeah.
What's happened is, and I'm going to guarantee you now, this is what's happened. The agents phoned up Tottenham and went, there's a £60 million release clause in there, and they went, is there?
Yeah.
Well,
and to add to what you're saying as well, they were hoping to try and get Gibbs-White into signing a new contract with a new release clause value.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's been delaying that. He doesn't want to do anything like
delaying
that.
Delaying it, because he knew,
so they're going to play hardball,
what was going on.
And they're going to try and just long Spurs' life. Listen, I'm not complaining about that. Like, I'm okay with that. I don't want to see
another massive thing, guys,
so.
that you've got to realise is that he's got form with this because he had a lot of trouble. Like, it's unbelievable, but they sort of done it to Wolves, sort of like stitched them up a little bit, didn't they? And there was a lot of stuff he weren't going to go back there and everything like that. So. What comes around comes around,
I'm going to tell you this now, mate. I think they've got a little bit of they've got a little bit of trouble, Tottenham, because they seem to be signing little turncoats at the minute. You know what I mean? Them people that like to stitch other clubs up. That's 2 of them in a week.
Just players that want to go on to bigger and better things. You said it, Nicky. This guy will be off to a top 6 club. He's
I'm glad you think that. It's taken you 20 odd years to realise. I hope you now forgive Sol that you can understand. Finally, you can understand.
Already on a touchy subject straight away, mate. We ain't talking about him.
He's trying to hit us where it hurts straight away, straight in there. In terms of the actual deal, Nini, what do you think of Gibbs-White as a player and Tottenham signing him? Like, if we can get this done?
I mean, listen, he's a pretty talented player. I think he was a really strong playmaker for Forest last season. Balls between the lines, split passes. He actually really proved me wrong, last season. I thought he was going to be like one of them talents, but he left Wolves where he had massive potential, but doesn't quite live up to it. But I do feel like he's on a good path right now. Listen, I'll be honest, I wasn't happy when that news broke after you guys secured Kudus. 5 minutes later, Gibbs-White is set to happen. I was like, what reality am I living in right now, where Spurs are putting off double deals like this? I am not here for that. So I'm kind of glad that I've been brought back down to reality. Marinakis, thank you very much for helping with that.
He's coming, Nini. Don't you worry about that. He's coming.
Yeah, maybe for you guys, but for us, I'm all right, man. But yeah, he's a good player, but would he make it at the top 4 clubs? Is there a space at Arsenal? Or I know City looks at him.
Yeah, City wants him, yeah.
They got better suited options. I don't think we would need him. Liverpool don't need him neither. I think you're looking at maybe Spurs, Man United, Aston Villa. I think that's kind of like his level right now.
Yeah, you say about Arsenal, though. He had a better season than Odegaard last season. If Odegaard carries on in that Raven form, then, anyone.
Maybe. But then if Odegaard was at Forest and he can, play passes into the wingers on the counter-attack, it's a lot easier then, right?
Arsenal play on the counter-attack all the time.
10 at the back.
Oh, what the posh
Stoke?
Stoke?
About that, wouldn't you? You'd know all about that.
Lee, they're the posh Stoke, mate. They're the upmarket Stoke. That's what they are.
Now, listen, I think that Gibbs-White. Listen, I don't like it when teams sort of other people say, "Oh, we can't get in Liverpool, we can't get in that." You know what I mean? But listen, that's how it is. Arsenal have got a talented midfielder, as has Liverpool, as has Chelsea. After what I've been hearing over the last few weeks. Listen, I think Gibbs-White, I'm a big fan of it. I thought he was a very, very good player. The one thing I will say about him, I thought that Maddison was a very, very good player, and it's not quite worked out for him at Tottenham, But listen, Gibbs-White, you have to say on the back of a season where consistently played well. And I go along with that. Odegaard this season last season didn't hit the levels of Gibbs-White, and listen, I think it's a very, very good signing for Spurs.
What Gibbs-White has got is an engine.
Yeah,
he is an engine. He will start running at the first minute, and he will stop running as soon as that final whistle blows. He will not stop. The light's gone off here. He will not stop running forever and ever and ever. And sometimes that's what you need. You just need someone to be, in that midfield, just keeping them cogs running. You know what I mean? Doing the running for others. We had it with Declan. Declan was our engine in the midfield, and when you lose the engine, it's not easy. It's not easy to keep them going. So I think that Forest to do it, but look, what Spurs are getting is a good engine. Like no matter what the outcome is and the final product is, and it may not be always perfect, but what you'll get is a man that keeps on going and going and going and trying from minute 1 to minute 95, and that's what you get.
I do feel like all this kind of drama could have been easily avoided if Levy didn't just go right to the penny of the release clause. He could have gone with like $1 million or $2 million or $3 million over it just to hide himself a little bit, because like the release clause was like 60 million and 250,000 or something stupid.
Yeah, but
like
you forget who he's talking to. He's talking to Daniel Levy. If he doesn't have to spend a penny more than he has to, 100%. He won't.
100%. Yeah, but if that's the release clause, that's the release clause.
Yeah, I don't see why you have to pay more.
Because we're not meant to know about it. We don't have to.
They're not meant to know. No one's meant to know about it.
I don't think Levy's done anything wrong. The only thing that's wrong is he shouldn't have highlighted it.
It's a big coincidence that he comes in with exactly the same money that there is in the release clause when nobody's meant to know about it. It exists, and it was like an odd amount. It's like 60,000 or 60,250,022 pence or something, and Levy's put exactly that down on the table.
Nick, I will say this, and nothing's going to happen to the Spurs. Chelsea done this with Ashley Cole, like, you know what I mean? I don't think it ruined Chelsea. I'm far from it, and it's not going to ruin Spurs. They'll take the hit, whatever it'll be, and at the end of the day, you know, you can't keep an unhappy player at a football club. Don't matter who it is.
I said that's pointless.
Pointless. Get as much money. Get as much money as you can for him. Oh, you've got a £60 million release clause. That's it. It's done.
But if they do hold him at the club, the value is just going down and down and down because he's got 2 years left in his deal.
Is it because he's revealed it? That's the problem.
That's the problem.
Breach of confidentiality
contract, didn't they? So
apparently Tottenham are being accused of reducing the breach of apparently.
Right. So they get their fingers burnt a little bit, like, you know what I mean? Oh well.
They have to prove it. I don't know how Forest can prove it unless they have some real big evidence, like text and something. How can they prove that we asked for the release clause from them, or we weren't just given to it, or whatever? I don't really see. I think Marinakis is having a bit of a reputation of being like a high school snitch. That's basically how I would describe Marinakis at the moment. He went to UEFA.
The Crystal Palace thing with UEFA. You've got he put that whole statement out about the FA and the PGMOL. During the season, and well, he's also running on the pitch and shouting at his own manager as well.
He's getting a bit of a reputation. Marinakis are rubbing a lot of people the wrong way.
Do you know why? Do you know why he's just gone and grasped Crystal Palace up? Do you want to know why?
Go on,
it's getting your own league.
No, because he's just seen a 17th place club win the competition. He thinks, I want to be at that Champions League next year, boys. That's exactly what he's thought.
Only one 17th place team can win it. Only one. Only one in history. European champions. Come on.
I'll tell you what, like, I know Spurs are very proud of that, like, and good luck defending that.
Of course we are.
Means so much to you. You're prepared to defend, aren't you? Of course you are.
Absolutely.
So
are you proud of your European trophies, Lee?
100%.
I knew that was
coming. When we won it, the next year we defended it. Like, we weren't like good at, we weren't crap enough to go and not defend. That's the thing about it, you know. Like, it's such a great trophy, you can't even defend it because you know. But there you go. Listen, I'm not begrudging Spurs their moment. Enjoy.
Sounds like you are a bit, but anyway.
I mean, listen, I've seen my nephew. You know, phoned me up and said, "Oh, it's lovely seeing us winning a trophy." Like, you know what I mean? So I said, "Yeah," which is fair. He's 16. You know what I mean? You go, like, you know what I mean? So.